Hey everybody, RetroPie Guy here. Today I'm going to do a brief tour of the N64 Game Collection Card, which is compatible with the EverDrive 64 cartridge. This works on both the X5 and X7 versions of the EverDrive 64 cartridge, and the really cool thing about this combination of the card with the EverDrive 64 cartridge is that you can take this game collection card, insert it into the microSD card slot of your EverDrive 64 cartridge, and then take that cartridge and plug it into the original N64 game console, and it'll boot up to the screen right here, which gives you access to literally every single N64 game ever made. It also gives you access to every Nintendo Entertainment System game ever made, because all the NES games are compatible with the EverDrive 64. So it really creates an amazing experience here, because it kind of bridges the gap between emulation and the original gaming experience on the original N64 console. So we're going to jump in here. I'm going to show you around this game collection card, show you exactly how everything works. So up here at the top you can see we have our US titles. So this is going to be all of the US releases for the N64, and it's broken up into two sections. So the top one is going to be our titles that begin with A through M, and the second option is going to be titles that begin with N through Z. So if we jump into the first one there, you can see it's all in alphabetical order. So it's going to start with numbers first, followed by A, B, C, and so on. So the first title is 007 GoldenEye, followed by 007 The World Is Not Enough. And up at the top you can see this is page 1 of 8. So if we want to navigate over to the additional pages, we just hit the right D-pad or the right side of our analog stick to navigate over to page 2, followed by page 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So you can see each one has different games on it. So we can jump up here. These are all of our M titles. So we have Mario Tennis, Mario Party 3. We'll go back to page 7. All of these different titles are on here. So we actually do have a full game list of this. So just reach out if you want to see the game list. We'll provide that to you. It'll be a PDF file. So just to be clear though, this does include literally every single N64 game ever made. So not too much confusion there. We're going to hit B to back out. Same thing down here in terms of layout for our US titles N through Z. So we'll jump in here just to show you. Starts with the Nagano Winter Olympics 98 game, and it just goes down again in alphabetical order. So we have all of our NBA games here, all of our NFL blitzes. We'll go to page 2 by hitting that D-pad right, and you can see we're able to navigate through all these additional titles. Got all of our P's, R's, S's, T's, all of these different games here, all of our wrestling games for WCW, WWF down here at the bottom. Just really a lot of great stuff on here. So we'll hit B to back out. So under the US releases, you can see that we have our European releases, followed by our Japanese releases. Each of these is going to be the exact same layout. We'll jump into European. Now there are some duplicates obviously for different releases, and sometimes the games vary, sometimes they're exactly the same, but you can see here we have both the GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough James Bond games here. So really a lot of great stuff. Again, we'll jump back out because this is going to be exactly the same layout as the US version. Same thing with Japan. It might look a little bit different because obviously the titles may differ slightly, being European or Japanese releases. So we'll back out. Here underneath Japanese releases we have 64 disk drive. So we'll jump in here. There's some tools in here, different games and expansion kit sort of deals here. So we'll hit B again to back out. We have the Aleck 64 arcade hardware here. So again, some additional tools and games and whatnot in here. We'll hit B. So NES emulator, this is where you're going to go to find all of your NES games, and it's laid out really nicely in here. So again, same sort of deal. It's going to be alphabetical order. So we start with our numbers up here at the top. Down below we have A, B, C, D, and so on through the alphabet. So let's say we were looking for a game that started with I, for example. We'll go down to the I, we'll select it with A, and let's say we're looking for Indiana Jones. We go over to that second page and we can find our Indiana Jones titles. Super easy, super self-explanatory here. Down at the bottom we have Super Off-Road. Oh, that's a good one. That takes me back. So it's really easy to find all your different titles here. Super straightforward. Same thing again. Let's say we want to find a game that starts with S. S is obviously always going to be a massive collection for any collection for any game console. So Here we have 11 pages, so obviously a lot more than the 2 we had in the eyes. And we can navigate over through these different pages with our D-pad right, find all those Super Mario games here and all that great stuff. So I'm going to hit B to back out again, and then right below the NES emulator we have betas, prototypes, revisions, and I believe that's unreleased. Yeah, unreleased. So I think there's only one game that was ever unreleased, and it's that one right there. So we'll hit B, we can jump into revisions. A lot of really cool stuff here, so you can see some different versions for different games. We'll go up to prototypes. So there's some prototypes in here, betas, a couple different titles there. So a lot of really cool stuff to kind of explore, a lot of stuff that you may have never experienced before. So we'll go ahead and hit B to back out once again. We'll go down to hacks. Now hacks and homebrews, these are going to be like custom games and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different things for GoldenEye. I've played a bunch of these and some really cool stuff in here, so I definitely recommend exploring some of that. Same sort of layout though, you got your pages, you can navigate through the different pages. So we can hit B to back out of that. Homebrew is going to be the same sort of thing. It's a lot of custom stuff, so definitely worth looking into here. And the other really cool thing is we have some Doom ports available too. So if we just go up there, it automatically highlights the Doom ports, but we'll go down, see we have a couple different options here. So I'm going to hit B to back out. You can see most of these are going to be the exact same sort of layout. We have some translations here, not a whole lot, but a few things there. And then we have our tools and test cards here, so some different things here to test controllers, some Game Shark stuff, a lot of cool stuff in here. Down here we have our EverDrive 64 information, cheats, saves, system information, stuff like that. And then at the bottom we have our firmware backups. So just a ton of stuff you could do on here, but it's a really cool experience to be able to just have one cartridge that you can drop into your original N64 video game console and have all those different games at your fingertips versus having to go out there and track down all the original cartridges, which we're 25 years out from when this game console was released originally. So finding working games and all of that is really hard. Plus they're super rare now, so they're super expensive. I was looking at some different titles for the N64 console when I first got my N64, because this isn't the one I had as a kid. I went out and bought one off of eBay somewhat recently, and I was looking for one of the older titles and I couldn't find it. Ended up finding one that was in pristine condition, but the guy wanted like $80 for it. So that's what actually got me to start looking into different options here, and what ultimately ended up being the EverDrive 64, which I think is just the absolute best setup you could possibly have for an original N64 console like this. Alright, so now that we've gone over all of the different functions and features of this game collection card, I'm just going to jump into a title here just so you can see exactly how this loads in and boots up the actual games. I'm going to put some links in the description below just to show you a bunch of different gameplay demos that we've done, just so we don't make this particular video super long. So I'm just going to jump in here and we'll actually load up GoldenEye just to show you exactly again how we jump into games, how they load up, and all of that on here. So once we select our game, we'll come to this file menu here and we're just going to hit the start game option, and it's going to immediately boot up the particular game that you select. So that's it in terms of how we're going to actually jump into games here, but I will put a bunch of links in the description below just to give you a couple different things to check out in terms of gameplay demos on here, just so you can see again just how all these different games perform on this game collection card. That's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful and useful, smash the like button for me. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put some direct links in the description of this video so you can click over. If you're looking for the EverDrive 64 cartridges, you can see the direct links to jump over and pick up one of those. We'll also put the direct link for this particular game collection so you can grab that super easily, plug it directly into your EverDrive 64 cartridge, and be off transforming your N64 Video Game Console into the ultimate N64 gaming experience with everything just built into that one single cartridge. So again, that's going to do it for today. Any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section below or directly through our website. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, be sure to do that. We do a whole bunch of different gameplay demos, product reviews, tutorials, just a lot of great stuff based around retro gaming. And also check us out online on our website, www.retropieguy.com. Thanks for watching.